Hi, my name is Tan Nguyen, and I've been asked to explain why I stopped calling the program, where we stopped calling the program of push-in and pull-out. And it's more than a name change, it's actually like a pedagogical change. First of all, the first reason is that there's a gigantic elephant in the room that we're not talking about. When I first heard the term push-in and pull-out, I was like, this is an incredibly sexual term to use in a school setting. Um, I won't go more into depth, but I think you understand the idea of how pull in and push out is not appropriate for school. The second reason is because when we push into a class as teachers, there's an implication that there's a resistance that someone on the other side doesn't want us to come in. Well, that is usually the content teachers or the students themselves. Instead of forcing ourselves in, we should be invited. There should be an open door. My teachers at my school are excited or happy or grateful that I come in to support students, not just English learners, but all students. I'm welcome and invited. I don't have to force myself in. The second idea is when you pull out, there's an implication that someone is pulling against you. Someone is resisting against being pulled out. And that's basically students. Students don't want to be seen as different than other students. They don't want to be seen as going to the special room to get to learn the same thing. Instead of us saying, let's teach them outside of class, let's say, let's help them learn things inside of class, just like other students, but we just change it. So in my school, we used to call what we do, push in and pull out, as in-class support. We actually do more going into the class than pulling kids out. We rarely ever do that now. But I started to realize that when we use the word in-class support, it sounded like an aid. Like we were teachers sitting in the back of the room, taking a very passive role and helping just a few kids. That's not the goal. Because when you think about support, you're supporting all students. You're supporting the teachers. You're supporting the learning that's happening. So really, what are you? You are co-teaching. When a content teacher invites you into a class, you're responsible for all students. And so are they. And so that's why we co-teach together. There are different forms of co-teaching. I'll go through them really quickly. I'll just show you what they are actually. Enrichment teaching, lead teaching, parallel teaching, station teaching, and team teaching. What's not important are the different types of team teaching that you do. What's really important is the mentality that we are no longer aides, that we don't need to be pushed into a class and we don't need to pull kids out. What we need to do is collaborate with teachers to help all kids in the class. So I recommend changing the name of push in and pull out to be co-teaching.